Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of NEWS2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. In our top story, the Virgin Islands Police Department has been dragging on for a long time, and another missed deadline highlighted the VIPD's failures in complying with federal provisions. On Wednesday, a district court judge criticized them and is considering sanctioning the embattled department. NEWS2's April Knight has details.
A district court judge on Wednesday considered sanctions against the VI Police Department for not completing the terms of the department's now 7-year consent decree. The consent decree aims to bring local policing into constitutional compliance. The VIPD had 3 years to come into compliance and another 2 years to maintain that compliance under court monitoring. It's now been 7 years, and this month the department missed yet another deadline. A few months ago, VIPD officials did share that according to an independent monitoring team, they only need to work on the remaining 20 paragraphs of the consent decree, and that they might come into compliance soon because a lot of those paragraphs are linked. Earlier in the year, they conducted trainings that deal with one of those remaining deficiencies, the use of force and the conduct of police duties.
Some of them are related to the use of force investigations, and most of those paragraphs are linked, so compliance with one paragraph would assist in a compliance with the other paragraph.
They did come into compliance with one paragraph dealing with the department's risk management system. The judge gave the department another 30 days to address the remaining deficiencies, but VIPD representatives said they might need as long as a year. Another 2 years was the latest realistic date of compliance offered on Wednesday by the U.S. Justice Department. Reporting for NEWS2, I'm April Knight.
Within the past 2 weeks, Virgin Islands police officer and veteran Kai Javois police officer Leisha Lamy and firefighter Gregory Lewis were all victims of gun violence. Lieutenant Governor Osbert Potter, in order to attend the funerals and show respect to the first responders, canceled his planned trip to San Diego, California, where he would have attended the National Association of Insurance Commissioners' summer meeting. He stated that he is deeply saddened by the senseless loss of lives, crimes against the people who have made tremendous sacrifices and risk their lives daily to protect and serve us. It's the ultimate crime against our community. He encourages anyone with information to report it to the VIPD. Well, meanwhile, as we reported, a public vigil was held outside the hotel company fire station to honor and celebrate the life of Gregory Lewis of St. John, who was shot in the back of the head while he was sitting on a bench outside the hotel company station by Fort Christian. The administrative office was closed early so that employees may attend services. Many family members, supporters, and firemen gathered in prayer after speeches by dignitaries and pastors. Now, funeral services will be held on Monday, August 29th, 11:30 a.m. at the Shiloh Seventh-day Adventist Church. He will be laid to rest at the Eastern Cemetery in Smith Bay. No update on the shocking murder, but a private entity, as we reported, has offered a reward for any information leading to an arrest. Meanwhile, still no arrest on the double murder of 2 St. Croix police officers. Officers Leisha Lamy, 30 years old, and Kai Javois, 28. Officer Lamy was laid to rest today by her family, friends, and fellow police officers. Here's more from the VIPD's Glenn Drake.
Today's tribute and testament showed how much Officer Lamy is loved and truly will be missed. On Friday, August 26, Officer Kai Javois will be laid to rest at the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Peters Rest. Tribute 9 a.m., followed by the service that starts at 10, and interment will be at the Kings Hill Cemetery.
In other reports, on August 24th at roughly 12:45 p.m., officers traveled to the Schneider Medical Center after a report of the stabbing. Here's more.
Upon the officer's arrival, contact was made with the victim, a black male of Jamaican descent. The victim explained that while in the area of El Cubano, in the Smith Bay area, he was approached by a black male individual who stabbed him to the hand and fled the area. The victim was treated at the Roy Lester Schneider Regional Medical Center's emergency room, where he received several sutures to the hand, along with the treatment for his minor injuries. This case is presently under investigation by the Criminal Investigations Bureau. Anyone having information about these crimes, you can contact the Virgin Islands Police Department at 340-774 224-2211, the Criminal Investigations Bureau at 340-714-9801, or you can also call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS or 911.
In other news, some developments on the plight of two candidates for public office. The Republican Party's recent lawsuit to try and put their congressional nominee on the ballot did not end well for them. Plus, the VI Democratic Party filed a document with the election system that compels the election supervisor to give a response very soon. NEWS2's April Knight has the update.
VI GOP congressional nominee Gordon Ackley lost a key battle in court yesterday. Ackley, along with the party's territorial committee, filed for a temporary restraining order with the district court. Among other things, they want to stop election officials from printing ballots or casting lots for the general election. But Judge Curtis Gomez denied them that, saying it's unlikely the plaintiffs will succeed. On Wednesday, election supervisor Carolyn Fox said they're going ahead with scheduled general election events, including the casting of lots in spite of Ackley's suit.
So until we hear from the courts, we will just continue to proceed with what we're going to do, schedule casting of lots at 5:30 p.m. in both district office, and also, making sure we track the weather to make sure tomorrow.
Supervisor Fox also said she's doing more research on the matter of Alicia Chucky Hansen's eligibility. Recently, the VI Democratic Party made official their challenge of Hansen's eligibility to vote and therefore run in the general elections.
They responded yesterday afternoon after 4 o'clock, and they did an affidavit of challenge. No, that's only the district chairwoman, Loretta Peterson, signed the affidavit of challenge. And so I'm doing the research, and I will hopefully respond to that.
Initially, the party only sent a letter to Fox, which she said did not legally compel her to do anything.
That's just a letter. Anyone can send me a letter, and I can't take action based on a letter. So if you want to challenge a candidate's registration, then you do a challenge affidavit. And if you want to challenge her nomination, then you do a nomination petition challenge.
Fox is expected to respond to the Hansen issue before the end of the week. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Also, the election system held its casting of lots today on St. Thomas and St. Croix for the general election candidates' respective spots on the ballot. Chairwoman Liliana Belardo de O'Neill, members Lisa Harris Moorhead, Raymond J. Williams, and Supervisor of Elections Carolyn Fox were designated as Certified Elections Registration Administrator, or SARA, the highest professional achievement in ceremonies conducted by the Election Center at the Hilton Hotel at Penn's Landing, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, held on Friday, August 19th at 12. And a SARA designation is achieved only through a multi-year course of study conducted by the Election Center's professional education program and completion of the 12 core courses taught by the Masters in Public Administration faculty of Auburn University, Auburn, Alabama, ranging from ethics to voter registration and elections law, planning, communications, and voter participation, among others. In Italy, strong aftershocks are making rescue operations difficult. The death toll from Wednesday's earthquake stands at 260. And according to the news, some 365 wounded people are in the hospital. Hundreds have been forced from their homes and are staying in public shelters or even out in the open, while emergency responders are still frantically trying to find survivors. Scott McLean is there in Salice, Italy. He joins us with the latest.
Rescue teams in central Italy comb through mountains of rubble. Cadaver dogs helping to locate bodies, but hoping to find survivors. Time is running out to find people trapped in the debris left after Wednesday's 6.2 magnitude earthquake. Aftershocks are making rescue operations even more difficult. Heavy equipment is only just beginning to arrive in isolated areas cut off by landslides and debris. In the devastated town of Amatrice, the 13th century clock tower stands frozen. Its hands stopped at 3:36 a.m., the moment the quake struck. In Saletta, most of the houses have collapsed, and the ones that haven't seem perilously close. Since the earthquake struck, those who got out are sleeping outside or in cars, unwilling and unable to go back inside.
Inside the house, it's a complete mess, a disaster. Everything is collapsed. In this little village, they have been 22 people that died.
Others don't share the same fear. This man went back into his home to get his TV. His only protection was a bike helmet. Rescuers pulled a young girl from the rubble alive in Pescara del Tronto. First, they saw a tiny foot, then a leg. In the video, a man seems to be talking to the girl, begging for her to live. Then rescuers hoist the little girl out of the rubble, her entire body covered in gray dust. One bystander crying out, "Beautiful girl," in Italian. In Saletta, I'm Scott McLean.
Meanwhile, residents in central Indiana are picking up the pieces after 3 tornadoes touched down Wednesday afternoon. One of the twisters ripped through Montgomery County, flattening buildings and tearing down trees. A fire dispatcher told CNN minor injuries were reported, but nothing life-threatening. Tornadoes were also reported west of Crawfordville and east of Indianapolis following the storm. Republican vice presidential candidate and Indiana Governor Mike Pence left the campaign trail to return to his home state. Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. According to the numbers there, everything down. The Dow 33 down, NASDAQ 5, S&P 500 down to 2. Coming up on News 2, back to school news for students, parents, and staff. Plus the latest Zika surveillance report. The new numbers of cases are in and they are up. Details coming up. Welcome back. The new number of cases in the territory this week of Zika, according to the Department of Health surveillance report, is now at 50. The territory has seen a total of 193 cases, which is up from 143 last week. And then the VI Health Department began tracking the mosquito-borne virus. That's the number it's been since then. St. Thomas has been hit with the hardest, with 41 new cases confirmed since last week, for a total of 157 cases on the island. St. Croix had 8 new cases in 1 week, up, and St. John 1 new case. There are now 684 suspected cases. Well, Governor Kenneth Mapp today appointed Dr. Anita Roberts as the new commissioner of the Department of Human Services, and that's effective Monday, August 29th, 2016. Dr. Roberts is currently the Deputy Director of the Office of Management and Budget with oversight of the Federal Grants Management Unit. Dr. Roberts holds a PhD in education from Walden University and has a master's in behavioral organization from Kaplan University and received her Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice from Northeastern University in Boston, Massachusetts. Friday, August 26th, the governor relieved Commissioner Vivian Ebbison Flood of her duties as commissioner of the department. The governor met with the commissioner and personally thanked her for her service to the people of the Virgin Islands. Meanwhile, the Human Services Department is also clarifying the conditions for coverage offered to uninsured women for breast and cervical cancer treatment. According to current Commissioner Vivian Ebbison Flood, while applicants for the MAP program are not required to prove income or assets, they must verify United States citizenship, Virgin Islands residency, that they are age 65 or older, their uninsured status. They must also prove their confirmed diagnosis of breast or cervical cancer at a CDC-approved site, the nearest of which is in Puerto Rico. Back to school news. Here's your checklist. The Department of Health is providing round 2 of free immunizations for children in kindergarten to 12th grade in the territory. The free immunization event will be held on Saturday, August 27th on St. Thomas at Walgreens. That's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The department is holding this event in recognition of Immunization Month and to support parents preparing their children for the new school year. Now, in addition to the free immunizations, the department will provide clearance slips and check immunization records in order to clear school registrations free of charge. They remind you to bring your immunization cards, and if you are insured, bring your insurance card as well. The administration of the Arthur Richards Junior High School has scheduled school year 2016 orientation for Friday, September 2nd from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for 7th graders and from 12:15 p.m. to 2:15 p.m. for 8th graders. Parents must attend with their children, prepared to pay school fees of $15 for an ID card, $18 for school insurance, and $15 for physical education, PE shirt. All students must attend orientation fully dressed in school uniform. Well, Judge Jason Carroll and the Memorial Fund and VI Mothers Against Guns, Inc., they announced that the governor has declared the first day of school, Tuesday, September 6th, as the back-to-school days of prayer on Saturday, September 3rd and Sunday, September 4th. And the VI Fathers Back-to-School Barbecue and Fun Day, that's coming up Saturday, August 27th. The back-to-school days of prayer take place in the individual schools on Saturday, September 3rd and September 4th. Here's more from Judge Carroll.
It's going to be a fun day for the fathers and the children and for the family in general. There'll be free food, free backpacks, free school uniforms, free school supplies, raffles, prizes, and it's just going to be a great day. The fathers will have to take the pledge basically to go back to school with their children and to be good fathers during the school year. Also, we'll have a prayer circle with the fathers. Now, the governor actually signed a proclamation declaring that September 6th is the day of the VI Fathers March. The motive behind this is basically to build good and strong families. Research has shown that families where the father steps in and takes a role in a two-parent household, actually children develop into better citizens.
Great event there. Be sure to attend. Now, what fabulous lineup of entertainers can we expect this season? We're talking about the Reichel Center, the St. Thomas St. John Chamber of Commerce. They're holding the business after hours at the Reichel Center for the Performing Arts. That event kicked off earlier this evening to an eager crowd. This is more than a meet and greet. It's the opportunity to hear the announcement of the 2016-2017 lineup. It's considered the 38th season launch party. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We will share that list of entertainers with you. VI Lottery shines the light on Youth Enrichment Initiative, a grant program within the VI Lottery that gives, on average, over $300,000 annually to community-based organizations in the VI. The work of some of the young people, the amazing artwork created by our talented youth was featured. Take a look at the work and, of course, at the winning numbers.
The VI Lottery presents draw results of today's drawing on NEWS2. Fifth prize for $20,000, 9036. 9036. Fourth prize for $30,000, 14757. 14757. Third prize for $40,000, 32328. 32328. Second prize for $65,000, 17056. 17056. And the winning ticket number for the grand prize of $175,000 is 11473. 11473. If your ticket number wasn't called, keep trying. One of these days, your number could win. The next drawing is September 8th. Play the VI Lottery and imagine the possibilities.
And good luck as you check those tickets. Now, what's happening with the weather? Showers and possible thunderstorms were expected over the USVI and eastern Puerto Rico today, but the sun was shining bright. Are we out of the woods? Don't miss the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Here in the Virgin Islands, getting a little bit quieter here as we head into the next couple of days, especially late weeks or Friday and into the weekend. Very typical for this time of year to see the moderate trade wind flow. So no complaints here. Remember, we're talking about the strong feature right now pressing its way to the northwest across the Caribbean. That provided some wet weather for us here. Dealt with some winds, but nothing tropical storm winds in the vicinity here, but we did have some wind issues, but hey, not too bad and looking a lot better as we head into the next couple of days. As we transition here over the satellite and radar, getting in some spotty showers and also some thunderstorms in the vicinity with patches of clouds here in the Virgin Islands. So for today overall, it's going to be relatively quiet. Temperatures will be back down into the lower 80s with a chance for a shower or storm in some spots. Once again, I put the emphasis there in some spots because we're not expecting anything too widespread or anything too heavy. Now, for tomorrow in St. John's, we'll be approaching 90 degrees with a chance for a shower or two in the area here. Partly sunny skies there. Also into St. Thomas, very similar weather conditions as we take you into your Friday. We wrap up the work week. Temperatures there will be into the upper 80s. Same deal in St. Croix. As a matter of fact, we'll be climbing into the low 90s here for the afternoon hours. Deciding to head out to the water, looking okay. The marine environment looking good with winds anywhere around the southeast, about 10 to 15 knots, and waves anywhere between 2 to 4 feet. And then we take you over to the Caribbean side of things. Very similar here as well. We're talking about waves 2 to 4 feet with winds coming out of the southeast anywhere between 10 to 15 knots. As we continue here in the next couple of days, your extended outlook temperature-wise remaining okay here this weekend. We'll be in the 90s, the lower 90s to be a little bit more specific, with a mix of sun and clouds and also the chance for a stray shower to develop in the area. Also, as we take you into the day on Monday, temperatures will remain into the low 90s. Sandy, send it back to you.
Thank you. So we can look forward to some showers here and there and sunshine, kind of mixed. Taiwan Morton of Great Minds Tutoring Service sent us this beautiful picture there, nice scenery. Shares a view probably from his house with some picture-perfect weather. Taiwan, thank you for that. Send us your weather picture to the address on the screen. Be sure to include your name, age, school, and brief description of your work of art. Then tune in to see it here on NEWS2. With that, we'd like to thank you for joining us for the latest in news and weather. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and more for all of our latest. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.